Hey everyone, welcome back to Little Witch Academia episode 3. This will probably be the episode that people either continue watching after this or drop after this. The 3 episode rule thing, which most people don't like, most people hate, but yeah. And personally, I like the episode, it was really good, lots of fun stuff going on, but let's jump into it. This episode's kind of focused more on Akko trying to, I guess, learn how to fly a broom. And it's kind of the core of the episode, just about flying brooms in general. Since they are witches, obviously, that's what they're going to be doing. So yeah, we learned that you know here this week, and Akko's kind of still in her room, swinging around that staff trying to make it magic work. And Ursula kind of overhears her and walks in and talks about flying lessons and all this, and Akko kind of like says, "I'm gonna do it no matter what," and then says, "A believing heart is her magic." Ursula kind of takes that quote in her head and kind of thinks about it and is like, yeah, I mean, everyone's probably thinking the same thing. It's great that she's so, had that kind of outlook on life or magic, but it's not gonna get her very far. That's what Ursula's probably afraid of. But yeah, I mean, it's a good, thing, a quote for her to live by, I guess, as far as magic goes. And we get a little information on the school, the Sorcerer's Stone, which you see in the first OVA, is like, I guess, allows the students on the campus to have access to unlimited magic as long as they're at the school. So, it should tells you that they're revealing that for a reason. Obviously, I would think villains or anyone evil would want that stone because obviously unlimited magic would be pretty huge in a magic world. But I think it's just there for the world building, give you more information about the school. But yeah, so I think it's used for a reason. And so yeah. And we get the first day of actual flying lessons. Akko is, obviously having trouble because again, she has no real magic in her blood. Doesn't have the skill yet of flying. I mean, even though later in the episode we do see her light a cannon later, so I mean she has magic, access to magic, but as far as flying, that's probably a huge step for someone who doesn't, have the skills right now. So yeah, Akko's kind of having trouble, and Diana's two little lackeys, whatever you want to call them, kind of make fun of her and turn her brooms like this little kid bike, tricycle with little training wheels to make fun of her because yeah, you can't fly and all this. But Akko's not the type to get down by it. She just like yells at him and kind of gets aggravated. But I guess maybe she does get aggravated, so that's the thing. And we have Amanda who was seen, doing tricks and stuff and just showing off. Gets yelled at by one of the teachers not to. And Amanda's a cool character. I remember from the second OVA, even though her story didn't get fleshed out as much. We learned about her was she's a thief, so I guess that's her story. Plus, she has her other two teammates. One's like a tinkerer who blends machines and maybe science and magic together. I mean, she's a cool character I like because the second OVA they had this boat they transformed into like a giant robot. I guess not a giant robot, but it was a robot in general. But it still looked cool. It was still cool seeing the blending of that robotics and magic or science and magic together. So that's a cool character. And the other girl, I mean, I hate to say, but she's the token fat girl of that team, and she's, I guess, disrupts classes because she's always eating and causing a distraction. So yeah, those three are kind of more like I would say the delinquents of the school maybe. With Akko's group kind of being the group that no one really cares for. I mean, I guess you could just debatable with whether Susie and Lot are powerful without being in that group, but they are associated with Akko, regardless of where they are, always. But yeah, so Diana Ozzy, she's there showing off her race, her skill, her power she's able to do because speaking of races they learn about this relay race that's going to happen at school in a couple of days. So Akko's kind of curious about that. Even investigates it a little further and finds out Shiny Chariot won the race back in the day, and Akko gets more determination from that photo, saying that okay, Shiny Chariot did it, so I can do it too. So they did that. And she also ropes in Lot and Akko, or Lot and Susie, sorry. They rope in those two because they need like a three-person team. They're kind of not happy about it, but they learn later that there's a prize. So Susie's excited because the prize is from one of her favorite teachers who does potions and alchemy and all that stuff. So she's gladly, happy to be in this race now. Lot, on the other hand, kind of gets the short end. She's just there as a support, I would say, to Akko. So yeah, but we also get a little trip to the this magical item cafe, which is not really a cafe as Akko thought it was. I thought the same thing. I thought we have like monster girls dressed as maids serving tea and all this stuff. Would have been funny, but no, it's like a pawn shop. And speaking of pawn shop, I don't know if anyone ever watched the TV show Pawn Stars on A&E. There's a guy in there named Chumlee who's like this overweight guy who works at this uh, pawn shop in Vegas. But yeah, he was actually seen in the anime. Trigger made a character design based off his real life features, which was kind of cool. They even tweeted at Trigger didn't tweet at him, but a couple of fans of Little Witch tweeted towards the guy from that show, and he saw it and he was just like, "Oh, that's cool." Even though he has no idea, what it really is from. He just thinks it's cool, but who knows? They could have called him. All these things are a little weird. But as far as like cameos by real people, it's a little weird sometimes when you see it, but maybe it was not intentional, but it's kind of hard not to see the resemblance. I put a screenshot in the post about that. So yeah, but we also learned about this broom that's kept in the back called the legendary broom, which is supposed to be the fastest broom out there, and it's filled with magic, so it's alive technically, and it's wants to get out, but the shopkeepers doesn't want to give it. Akka wants to buy it because it's a broom that can fly by itself. So it's like that's what I need. But so yeah, we learn about the broom. It's fast. Can go around the world and not a blink of an eye, but it's pretty fast. So yeah, they learn about the broom. Akko's curious about it, but it's dangerous, so they don't get a chance to buy it. But Amanda was there. She kind of overheard about this broom, so she's curious about it now. And then we get back to the school. Ursula's trying to help, and she gives Akko a book, and it was just funny seeing Akko use that book 'cause it's like almost written almost like you take care of your broom like a pet. You talk to it, you care for it, you do things with it. Like she's decided to sweep stuff with it. That didn't work. None of that worked. She even tried like praying, worshiping it, or begging for it to work, and it still doesn't work. And then Saucy, on the other hand, kind of had her own idea of helping Akka, which involved bungee jumping, being shot out of a cannon, and basically being dragged behind her while she was flying. Obviously, none of that worked. It was pretty funny still. Almost like Susie kind of got a little, fun with that because it's like, well, you're putting me through the race, so I'm gonna put you through something stuff too. But the next day the race begins. We have our main team, and they're there. Amanda's team, Diana's team, they're all there. A bunch of kids are there. A lot of the background students are there, and there's this news team that's there. I guess they're gonna be like broadcasting and commentating on the race, and they're a weird bunch. I'll talk about them later on, but they're pretty fun. So yeah, we learn about Amanda. She actually stole the legendary broom and planned to use it, but it got away from her, and ends up Akka ends up later on commandeering the broom and using it to do the race, even though the broom was kind of hesitant and was trying to throw her off. It did one time, but Diana saved her, and Akko got back on the broom after shooting herself out of a cannon again. That was pretty funny. So yeah, she got the broom and was basically tied herself to the broom because it's got this big chain attached to it. So she tied herself to the broom and continued the race. And Amanda's group got disqualified because Susie did this trap where she put a bunch of traps for a bunch of students. She trapped them like making their brooms get grow these roots to the wood and they couldn't fly right away. She set up a trap for the bigger girl on Amanda's team to be led off by donuts. She was following donuts instead of the race, so Amanda got disqualified. So it was down to Diana and Akko at the end, but sadly Akko's team didn't win because Akko's broom kind of ditched her. The last minute she kind of fell off it, and in the meantime falling off it, she freed the bonds on this broom and it got free and it flew off. So to me, I'm determined to see that broom coming back. It's probably gonna come back later on. It has to, because Akko kind of like freed it from its bonds, and now it's free to finally live out its life. I guess I don't know. It's weird that this broom is the thing, but yes. But yeah, Akko's team didn't win, but It showed everyone at the school, even Lot, everyone else, because they're all cheering for Akko at the end. I guess it was a thrilling race to see that someone with no magic whatsoever was able to still participate in the race and get everyone fired up. It was pretty nice. Some extra stuff at the end. We had overall Akko's determination. Yeah, most people see it as, oh, she's just the typical shonen character. Never give up, never stop fighting and all this, which is fine to me. I mean, I don't mind that those kind of traits in a lead character. I've seen lots of animes, that use it in a right way, some that use it in a bad way, some that use it in an annoying way, like Fairy Tail, I would say. But Akko just being determined is inspiring to a lot of people in the show, and I would imagine in the real world too. Just seeing someone who is being told you can't do this, no, 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 to not give up is pretty inspiring. Whether you think it's super cheesy or not, I mean, yeah, it is cheesy, but the show is cheesy in itself. It's about accomplishing wishes and dreams and all that. So yeah. The Luna Nova News group are pretty cool. I like the design of the main girl, kind of commentating on the race. She was pretty cool. I like her design. And speaking of designs, I like all the designs of the background characters. I noticed there's a lot of characters that have detail on them, like different hairstyle, different all this stuff. So it's cool seeing Trigger give background characters, a little detail here and there. It's fun seeing it instead of like a stick figure or a white outline. Facial expressions this week. Akko again bringing the most hilarious reactions as far as the broom riding scene and all that. And speaking of the broom riding scenes, just all those scenes in general were really well animated. You really get the feeling of the speed Akko's flying at, and even like the visuals, you know, flying past the jet and all that. And we had a little bit with Diana at the end with Ursula. She wasn't really making fun of Akko, but she was just more commenting on the fact of Akko's passion was really interesting. Diana like kind of like watching how much passion she had for flying, and it just shows you again that Diana isn't thinking bad on Akko. She just sees the world her way, and Akko sees the world her way, and both of them are just using magic in different ways and approaching it in different ways as well. But it just shows that eventually they'll be friends. But even if they don't, even if they just stay rivals, it'd be pretty fun still. And the last thing at the end, I really enjoyed seeing a lot kind of like get excited for Rocco and pump her up and get her wanting to race and all this, and even the background students, maybe some of them are coming around to her side, not gonna make fun of Akka, or maybe they're actually being like inspired by her. We never know, but it's still fun seeing a lot kind of act that way, because she's always quiet. And Susie at the same time, even though she kind of was teasing and torturing, not really torturing, that's not the word I would use. Training Akka was still fun watching her do all that. So yeah, the friendship of these three girls is getting there. I mean, it's not there yet, but it is fun seeing each week how they're getting closer and closer to becoming like really good friends. And this episode just showed you that it's there. Maybe not there right now, but they are becoming closer as a group, and I like that part of the show. And that's pretty much been the episode. Nothing else really to talk about. Just overall great animation, fun reaction, and this week there wasn't a problem caused by Akka. I mean, a lot of people had that issue with the first two episodes and the series in general of the OVAs that there's always a problem created by a certain character. They mostly blame Akka, which she's not really to blame any of those. I don't think any of those problems are caused by her. A lot of it's caused by Diana, or in this case, Amanda. She was the one that did it, and OVA 2, it wasn't really Akka who did it either. It was the townspeople who caused the big problem at the end of the OVA. So it's like I have yet to see Akko be the cause of any problems or any again, there's more of the other characters who have the magical experience that are causing the issues. So yeah, but anyway, that's another thing for later. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys next week for episode 4.